Hi, I'm Justin Young with HoopSeen.com. We're here at Holy Innocents today with one of the top juniors in the state of Georgia, Chance Moore. Appreciate you sitting down with me today, Chance.
Yes, sir.
You guys are ripping ready to go. I know we just saw some practice. The season's right around the corner, which is really hard to believe. I know for you, you're probably pretty excited to get back on the court.
I am pretty anxious. It's been 6 months and I've been able to play a live game. Just ready to get back out there.
We talked a little bit before we went on camera. Just the last 6 months for you, you had an injury to your right knee. Spent some time away, obviously getting better and rehabbing it. What's that 6 month been like for you?
Just been slowly recovering, going to therapy twice a week, just doing exercise at home, just rebuilding the strength back up in my knee, just being able to get back on the court and play.
As a competitor, there's this fire that you always want to be out there on the floor. You want to be out there with your teammates and competing. How difficult was that to kind of go through that process and know that you need to be patient, all the while that you know you also have to be healthy?
It was pretty difficult because sitting on the side watching my team play because they said they needed me to win games and whatnot. So just had to be patient, stay the course.
As a player, obviously you're going to put in the time physically to get your injury back to top shape and back to 100%, but there also has to be some element to the mental approach too, right?
Right.
How much more mentally tough do you feel like that process made you?
I feel like it made me even more tough because when I was younger, I had tore my ACL. So it just keeps making me even mentally stronger for the game.
What about an approach, almost kind of like as a quarterback? I always hear this when they get injured, they could almost run the team offensively better than the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Did you take a really similar approach to kind of looking and thinking through the game any differently?
Yeah, I did actually. My dad, we talked about it. Just look at the game as just kill everyone, just no mercy, just go hard every time.
Have you fallen in love with film and breaking down film yet?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. I guess, I was having some other conversations with some other players, and we talk a lot about, you hear the term expectations thrown around, and your coach has an expectation for you, your parents have expectations for you, travel guys, and then moreover, we all have phones, and most of us are all on Twitter or Instagram or something like that, and there's a narrative out there that sometimes gets created not by ourselves, right? And so expectations like, oh, Chance should be this, or this team should be that. But nobody ever says, what are your expectations for yourself?
For the season?
Or just in general, like how do you want to use basketball to get better? And then just in the season, what do you hold yourself accountable to in the process of becoming a college level player?
I just hold myself accountable to just being really consistent offensively and defensively and just leading my team to as many wins as possible.
How do you do that though? Where do you feel like you can help your team to lead them to many wins as possible?
With the particular team I'm on, I'm gonna have to probably score a lot of points and just be all over the floor, just play hard and just encourage my teammates. Because I probably won't come out as much as I did last year. So we just try to play as hard as we can and get as many wins as we can.
Last year you guys still had a relatively young team,
right? But
you're on the floor a ton. And how much did that really help you grow? And how much of a step do you feel like that you were able to make in your own development?
All the experience, it just keeps helping me grow as a player and just get better.
This year you guys have a new coach with Cabral Huff, a guy that's had a lot of success here in the state of Georgia, obviously coached at the collegiate level. What's your relationship been so far with him?
I'm finding the system. The relationship has been pretty well. We get along pretty well.
He's coached some really good players over in the past, particularly a guy like Malik Beasley. Has he talked to you about him and his development along the way?
He does. He talks to us about Malik Beasley and Kobe Simmons.
Sure. What are the things that he tries to teach you about their process and how does it compare for you?
He just tells us to really buy into the system, just go hard every time, and we'll be fine.
One of the things, like those guys when they were your same age, a lot of college coaches came through. My phone, if I could look back through all my texts this fall and see who was the guy that I was asked about the most, was probably you, just because a lot of guys haven't seen you in the travel circuit. How many schools has it been a pretty regular, pretty steady growth or steady stream of guys coming through here in Holy Innocents to see you this fall?
We've seen Xavier, Ole Miss, Georgia, LSU, Elon, a couple others I don't recall, but it's been pretty steady.
For a guy that hadn't had a chance to play in the circuit, where coaches hadn't had a chance to see you, what does that mean to you? They're coming by and seeing you, to make you a guy that they have to come and see.
It just feels good that they're still interested in me as a player.
Yeah, no question. So you were an Alabama shirt today. I know you said you've taken an official visit there already. What was that trip to Tuscaloosa like?
It was a really great visit. I really bonded with the team. Really liked the coaching system. It was just a great experience.
You know, Coach Nate Oates is new down here in the Southeast. Not a lot of guys know much about him. What can you tell us about him? What's that relationship like so far?
I really like Coach Oates. His play style, it actually fits my game pretty well. He likes to push the tempo offensively and shoot a lot of threes and just attack to the rim. Just like he doesn't really believe in like too many big men. He believes in a guard heavy offense and just fast tempo.
So for you, like just seeing you in practice and knowing what your game was like, give us a refresher as to what kind of game that you like to play.
I like to play fast, a lot of pick and roll action, space the floor so you can have the room to create and create for others.
That creativity, that versatility that you bring to the table, obviously, as you mentioned, has drawn in a lot of schools. You told me that you also have another visit coming up. Which SEC school are you going to next?
I'm going to take an official visit to LSU and another official to Xavier.
Okay. As a junior, there's not a lot of guys that I've seen when they've changed the rule. You just have to be a senior to go out there and take official visits. Why have you decided to take that approach and getting out there early as a junior?
I just figured that since you get 5 each year, I just might as well.
Might as well, right? Yeah. For you, when you go to these schools, what are you trying to pull from that? Like, what kind of information are you trying to gather?
I'm just trying to see like how the team chemistry is, just a vibe with the team, their offensive play style, just all of the facilities and whatnot, classrooms, you know, how the campus is laid out.
How much do you weigh vibing with the team versus like the facilities and the campus and that kind of stuff? Does the vibe matter more?
It's hard to say because I don't know if they'll actually be there when I get there.
Fair,
so.
yeah, fair.
But I mean, everything matters though.
Is there something that matters more? Like you're like, okay, I need to find a school that has this.
The most important thing to me is just really how the offense is set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being fluid and something.
Offensive play
Yeah,
style.
interchangeable and whatnot.
Right.
Very similar style. Has anybody really struck a chord with you early on so far?
What'd you say?
Anybody really like caught your attention that you really started to connect with?
Yes, Alabama, LSU, and Xavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any chance that you could just say, hey, you know what, I really like this school. I might just go ahead and just end it.
No chance. Not till next
No
year.
chance. No chance. Well, I know that we'll have a lot of schools coming through here at Holy Innocents. Obviously, we've got the Holiday Hoopsgiving that happens here at the school. Great opportunity for you to get back out there.
Right.
Do you? Is it difficult to try to pace yourself and not get too excited as we get started with the season, or are you just kind of like, you know what, I'll take it how it comes?
It has been difficult, but we do have a scrimmage next week, so after that, everything should be going smoothly.
We'll have plenty of chances to see, like I said, here at the Holiday Hoopsgiving, which we'll certainly be here to cover you. Chance, we're really excited to see you back out there. I'm glad everything's back good and healthy with your knee.
Thank you.
Appreciate you sitting down with me.
Yes, sir.